Hey guys, this is Sam with Geek, and today I'm going to be talking about what my thoughts are on the Wii U. I've had the Wii U since like the second or third day it came out, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's an interesting console. I've been playing a lot more Wii games than I have played Wii U games simply because I don't have the money to buy a lot of Wii U games right now. But the Wii U is definitely interesting, but one motto pretty much sums up what the Wii U is. It's two steps forward, one step back. And it's unfortunate because Nintendo gets a lot of things. They understand the future of gaming. They understand that discs and manuals are going away, that is a thing of the past, and they're fully prepared. Day one, every game that is at retail will be on the Wii U marketplace. But they don't understand hardware. They still don't understand hardware. After the Wii, you'd figure all the problems they had with it, all the problems they had future proofing it, that they would understand hardware. But they don't, because with them understanding the digital future, they only put 8 GB or 32 GB in their console, which is nothing. That's not going to sustain anyone who is serious about downloading anything digital on the Wii, especially since the first update. Yeah, this is also proof that they don't know much about software or future proofing their console. Is that the first update was like 2 or 3 gigs, 2 or 3 gigs that you had to download. And the best part about that is if you have a basic system like me, more than half my memory is already taken up. More than half of it. And I've only played 2 Wii games and Sing Party. That's it. I've downloaded Netflix too. That's like the only other thing. That's the only other thing I've done with this console. And my entire memory is almost filled. So the operating system was barely even installed on the system, and I had to download a 2 gig update. That's absolutely ridiculous. Day one. I could understand going down the line and adding more features, but they launched the console without all the proper features. You could tell that a lot of these features, like you know how the internet web browser works, all that stuff, it was added in later. It was added in a later time. They didn't really think about it. They probably already had it gold, and they didn't want to install the software updates on all the Wii U's. So, hey, what about update day one? So they didn't put the whole operating system on there. I didn't know. I should have not done the update right away, and seen how the Wii U was, how bare bone it was without the update, because that would have been interesting. I want to know what they added, because 2 gigs. It seems like they added the entire operating system in that one update. So after that whole fiasco and the lack of memory, they also don't understand hard drives. A lot of people like to have everything on one hard drive. And I figured, well, Nintendo's smart now. They understand the digital future. They understand that, people are going to be using hard drives for pretty much everything, and that this whole notion of physical media is dead. So I was thinking, maybe they'd have a partitioner built into their operating system so that I could just plug in my external hard drive and use it, use like 300 gigs or of something of my terabyte hard drive on the Wii U. No. Uh, they only gave me two options. Either I format my entire terabyte hard drive with tons of my information on it to only work on the Wii U, or I have the 8 gigs that comes with my basic system. So I'm going to have to buy another external hard drive to use my Wii U for what the Wii U is supposed to be used for. And I can't believe that they don't have some form of partitioning on this system. Like, no, who is going to say, I'm going to buy an external hard drive just to use on the Wii U? I'm trying to figure out who this audience is. And then, it's you're not going to really be able to do that with USB drives, because the majority of USB drives have a very limited life. They're not designed to last that long. So a lot of people are going to be using USB drives. They're going to die, and they're going to lose all their memory. That's what people don't understand about the USB drive argument whenever I present this argument. That's not going to be a good thing. I just don't see how the future of this console is going to be if the reality is that I'm going to have an external hard drive, and I'm going to have it only used on the Wii U. Yeah. And then, they obviously don't have any data protection either. Apparently, if you unplugged or turn off your console anytime during the update, you brick it. And it's a 2 gigabyte update, so if something like the power went out while I was updating the console, I'm shit out of luck. My system's bricked. Like, there should have been at least some sort of fallback feature on the operating system so that my entire system wouldn't brick. I understand the warning and all that. I understand how data works. I understand, how saving data works. But there's absolutely no excuse. There's like Microsoft and Apple and all these other companies have invested hundreds of man hours figuring out how, in case it does happen accidentally, how it wouldn't completely screw up your system. How this console bricks when you're updating it and something bad happens is beyond me. I mean, it's 2012 Nintendo. I think you need some better software engineers if that's what's going on. And obviously they do, because everything takes a ridiculous amount of time to load on the Wii U. If you launch Netflix, it takes longer than both Microsoft and Sony's consoles combined to launch the app. And this goes for pretty much anything. A game, the the Wii menu, everything. It takes pretty long to load it. The Wii menu is actually the one thing that takes the least amount of time. If I launch a game like Sing Party, if I launch anything on the Wii U, it takes about a good 30 seconds for it to actually launch the application. And Nintendo doesn't really understand applications either. I mean, the Netflix app, all the apps are pretty much meh. I mean, they understand apps, which I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see that they have all the options to pre-install all these video apps. They understand the future of television is that you're going to have pretty much all of it in one box. And furthermore, they understand that you're going to need TV controls in this if you want people to keep using it. But they just don't understand how applications work. The Netflix app sucks in comparison to the other two consoles. I mean, it doesn't. I watch a TV show on Netflix. The TV show ends, and then it doesn't even have the option for me to continue and watch the next episode. It boots you back out to the main screen, and it boots you back out to the instant queue. So if that was not in my instant queue, I'm pretty much screwed. I'll have to go find that episode again. And that just sucks. It's just not well organized, and it doesn't work well. Watching TV on Netflix on the Wii U kind of sucks. It makes me want to boot up my Xbox 360, because the Xbox 360 has a timer and will start automatically playing the next episode. It also shows what the next episode is in case you want to watch it, and a little synopsis of what it's about. Microsoft has put a lot of detail into their Netflix app, obviously. And when it comes to features, you'd think that the Wii U pad, would be a lot more useful than Kinect or stuff like that. But it's actually not, because of the resistive touchscreen. Navigating Netflix is an absolute pain in the ass with your finger, and it's not much better with the stylus. And you're going to end up using your D-pad anyway. Watching Netflix on the gamepad kind of sucks, because the speakers on this thing are absolutely horrible. I can only pretty much go 10 feet away from the Wii U without it disconnecting. So it's not really a reasonable replacement. Having something like Kinect and being able to shout pause or play or whatever is a lot more useful, especially since it doesn't use up the batteries in the controller, which is also a problem with the Wii U. This thing has about 3 hours of battery life. And it has a actually full-scale power cord that you have to plug into it. So I pretty much have to have this thing plugged in the entire time I'm playing the Wii U, because the battery life is just absolutely horrible. It's 3 hours in total, so if you watch a movie or something, this gamepad is about to die, which makes it kind of useless. And then if you watch a movie on it, it dies even faster. I noticed that too, because I was watching a couple episodes of Psych, and in about 2 episodes of Psych, this thing was dead, pretty much. I had to plug it in. So it's like all the convenience that this pad offers is ruined by the fact that it has a terrible battery life. How am I going to use this for my TV remote when the battery life is like 3 hours? So I'm going to watch like what, an hour of television, maybe a movie, like that. For viewing convenience, that's not really well. Like if I want to play a game and then watch a movie with someone, I'm gonna have to at some point in time plug in this pad. Whereas with the Xbox 360 controller, this controller has 56 hours of battery life on two AA's. This controller can last months of usage if you use it lightly, and like it can last weeks. I haven't had to replace these two AA batteries because I left my charger somewhere. I'm having to use AA's again. Um, I haven't had to replace these things for about, I'd have to say like a month. I've been using these things and had no issue. 56 hours of battery life is good, and it's something that the WiiU can't really compete with. I mean, especially since I'm watching movies, I can conserve battery life on my gamepad on the 360 using Kinect. With the WiiU, I have to have this controller on. If you try to turn it off whilst watching a movie, it'll turn the entire system off. There's no way to really turn the controller off and have the system on. The only way you can really do that is if you switch to regular Wii mode, where the controller goes into sleep mode, or you can turn it completely off. That's the only experience throughout the entire Wii U experience that I've had where I could control, the controller, which is going to be a very weird thing in the future, especially if I want to use it as my television control. What are some positives of the Wii U besides them understanding that the digital download is the future? Is that Miiverse is interesting and it kind of works well. They understand that friend codes, not friend zones, friend codes do not work. Like, they gotten rid of that system, they allow you to put names. So, you could see that Nintendo is kind of getting it, but they still don't get it. They still don't get online. They absolutely do not get online. Don't take that statement as Nintendo understands online, because they don't. They absolutely don't. Nintendo has a big problem with the fact that in order to friend request someone, unless I do it through Miiverse, they don't get an actual friend request. What it does is that it sends them a friend request, but it doesn't actually show it. It's like on the 3DS. I send a friend request, then they have to send me one back, and then we become friends. So the only way that I can have a reasonable friend request is that if I go into the Miiverse and find them. Because if I friend request them through the actual friend application, it's absolutely useless. It'll be difficult for me to find them, and then I'll have to contact them and say, yeah, you have to add me back. How is that even a thing? Why is that the case? I don't know. Nintendo just doesn't understand online still. And there is no achievement system. I mean, come on. I know Nintendo is reluctant to that, and even though they have it in a couple of their games, but there should be a universal achievement system. And it should be added in an update or something. It has to happen. It is a standard of the industry. Whether you like achievements or not, it's a standard of the industry. I can't even think of another platform that doesn't offer it besides Nintendo platforms. I can't. What other system does not have achievements besides Nintendo platforms? Steam has it. Game Center has it. OpenFint has it. Xbox 360, PlayStation, Origin. I can't think of any other console or platform, modern platform that's regularly updated that doesn't have an achievement system. It makes sense. It's absolutely a point of replayability. It's absolutely something that, developers want and like. I just don't understand why Nintendo has just chosen not to put it. And a lot of people say that the Miiverse statuses will replace that, but actually that's a lot more annoying. One thing about Sing Party is that every time you complete a song, it posts it to your Miiverse. And that's absolutely ridiculous. My Miiverse has like 100 fucking statuses of songs. And I don't know, I just see that more cumbersome and more weird than anything. One thing that I don't get is that the home button is supposed to light up every time I have a notification on Miiverse. Never happened once. Maybe that's just me, but that's another problem I see because that's supposed to be like a big feature of the console that this home button will illuminate itself. And I don't even know what color it is because I've never seen it illuminate once. Oh well. We'll see. Maybe that was just something in the back end. But Nintendo is realizing their mistakes. And playing a couple Wii games made me understand that a lot of Nintendo's problems is more with their own first-party games. And I know that's the complete opposite opinion that most people have. Most people think that Nintendo first-party games are gold and they're awesome and that they're one of the best developers, etc., etc. But if you actually play the games as often as I used to, you'd understand that Pokemon Black and White is one of the worst Pokemons. You'd understand that Super Mario 3D Land is not that great, and you'd understand that a lot of the things Nintendo is doing is just repeating their past mistakes over and over and over again. And the Wii, a lot of the prime Wii exclusives, a lot of the prime Wii first-party titles were actually just modified Nintendo 64 games. I played the shit out of Nintendo. I loved Nintendo, and I just feel that their first-party support is becoming repetitive, old, and is degrading in quality over time. But playing a lot of their third-party games, games made by third parties of their first-party franchises like Punch-Out, and playing interesting games made for their platform like GoldenEye, playing those on the Wii U again through the Wii menu, it shows that there's still a lot of hope.
12 o'clock.
Sorry, it shows that there's still a lot of hope for Nintendo, and that's why I think since I have a next generation system, I better start using it because the next generation is coming sooner than people think, and that's why I'm announcing that similar to how people went on the Google Plus diet, which is only using Google Plus, I'm going to go on the Wii U diet. So when there's a new third-party game, no matter what it is, if it's available on Wii U, I'm going to get it. Well, if it's a third-party game I want, and it's available on Wii U, it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's an Xbox 360 game where, I enjoy the multiplayer on Xbox Live way more than Wii U, obviously, and way more than PlayStation. But if it's on Wii U, I'm going to get it. And the only exception is that if I get a review copy and they send it to me on Xbox 360 like they usually do, that's the only exception to where I'll say, okay, I'm just going to play on Xbox. But Wii U priority for any third-party game. Because I'm going to see, maybe I'm just wrong about Nintendo in a lot of aspects. I think that the Wii U shows a lot of promise. And so for this first whole year, through 2013, if there's a third-party game on Wii U, I'm going to buy it on Wii U. Samuel out.